Hello, everybody. Nobody's here yet, but we'll get some people. I just say hello, everybody, for the people who watch the replay, So it's not complete and total silence when they start the show. I would like to talk today about why Trump won't release the Epstein files like immediately and why he hasn't for all this time. But the fact that he can release them right now if he wants. Just has to tell Pam Bondi to release all of them. Why won't he do that? Now, I know the answer, but do you? Two people, hit the like button, whoever you are. Very important. Unknown Trader, what's going on? Pat Travelino, how you doing, brother? Casey Robinson, what's going on, bro? It's a hoax once he realized his name was in the Epstein list. Yeah. a hoax that makes no sense, by the way, because it's a Democrat hoax, except according to him, the Democrats are in them. So the Democrats decided we're going to make up some fake Epstein files and put our names all over them to incriminate ourselves. Yeah. And then, of course, now they're releasing something that doesn't exist according to Trump because it was just a Democrat hoax to begin with. Did I already say happy Thanksgiving to you, Pat? Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. I hope you have a good day with your families tomorrow. Sally, hey, Meemaw, $1. I'm not doing a lot for Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm not really doing anything, to be quite honest. So I'll just be chilling, doing shows. I don't know if anybody will be watching, but it is my job. It is my job. Casey Robinson, what's going on, bro? Shut up, fatty. All right. 9 people. Hit the like button, guys. 13 people now. Hit the like button, please. They keep running out of Sharpies, redacting Trump's name, and it's hurting the DOJ budget buying more. I bet. Oh, Edward Thornton? That's what's up, man. Thanks for being here. Wait, why are you watching me? You mean you're watching like the show or you got your eye on me? Which one do you mean? Hit the like button while you're at it. I want to hear people's opinions on this. I know what you guys will say. I don't know about Edward. I'm not familiar with him, but the rest of you guys, I know what you would say to the question I have posted on the screen. That's why we got to wait for some real MAGA motherfuckers to come in here. Edward Thornton, I enjoy your content and I agree with most of your opinions and I back up your arguments with facts when the MAGA ask for sources. Nice. Thank you, Edward. I appreciate that. It's awesome. It's funny, man, because facts. I've always said MAGA is allergic to facts. They are allergic to facts. I mean, you could show them over and over again evidence of something, proof of something, straight facts, and they'll just say nope, nope, nope. Just like the case, the hush money case. They'll continue to say forever. They'll continue to say forever that it wasn't even real. He's not even a felon. I mean, it's amazing. It's like you realize when they say he's not a convicted felon, it's like if I came up here and I said he's not the president. It would be just as absurd because, of course, he's the president and, of course, he's a felon. Robert B., what's going on, man? Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, my friend. I'm not a MAGA. Facts or MAGA kryptonite. Yeah, they are. They are. You see, if you watch the chat, and we'll see it again on this stream, it'll just be a bunch of people telling me I'm a liar and I'm stupid and I know nothing and Everything I say is wrong. But then when I ask them, what am I lying about? What am I saying that's wrong? Nothing. They'll just move on to a different comment. They won't even mention it again because they don't really know. Oh, it really should, Casey. It really should. Trump could have done it too. He could have created the MAGA party. They all watching Fox, getting ready to spin the next news cycle. Yeah, exactly. Actually, Fox spins it for them. Here we go, guys. Creepy, crooked demo rats refuse to release the Epstein files, and this clown refuses to accept it. When did they refuse to release the Epstein files? When was that? I had no idea. But they won't listen to you. They are in a cult. Their leader can do no wrong. Nope. It's true. It's true. A maggot spelled facts as facts yesterday. They love Trump because he has the same IQ as them. I told you, man, listen, these are the same people that when Obama was in office, they would get mad and say, I can't even fucking understand him when he talks. He uses big words, shit like that. And Donald Trump made them feel smart. He did because they can understand him and he speaks like they speak. It's funny. And I hate to say this too, but I'm just a blunt guy. I got to come right out and say what's on my mind. I mean, you can't convince them that they're stupid either. You can't. And they are. That's the thing about stupid people is that they don't know they're stupid. They don't know. They have no idea. They'll say you are a liar. What does spell? Oh, yeah. Let's spell it Y-O-U. Yeah. Did the demo rats release under Biden? No. Well, in that case, Trump and his first administration refused to release them before Biden. How you like that? Because how come Trump didn't release them in his first term? Tell me that, fucko. I want to know. Since when does the cue ball have any brain? Bob Steven, I'm assuming that's me you're talking about. Would you like to call me and have a debate? We'll find out. We'll find out how much smarter than me you are. Yes. Oh, who? You talking about me? Oh, I am smart. Believe me. William Beasley, dude, Trump should be paying our rent. He has been living in your head completely free of charge. Oh, should be paying me rent. All right. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, it's not like, I just do shows about Trump. No, he lives in my head. Yeah, I don't think about anything but him. You're correct. Yep. You guys are like the worst cliche using motherfuckers in the world. Lives in your head, rent free. I know you guys think that's clever. Maybe when it was first said for the first time. Now, after 80 billion times of people using that stupid expression, you should have caught on to the fact that it's not clever. It's not funny. You know what I mean? You're the perfect example of stupid that doesn't know what stupid is. Oh, really? Bob Steven, try me. Call 410-941-9850. Let's debate because, you should have nothing to worry about. I'm stupid, right? What are you worried about? Give me a call. Democrats always obstruct. No, they don't. Republicans have been obstructing the Epstein file release. And again, I asked you guys, why didn't Donald Trump release the files in his first term? Why not? 2 and 3 syllable words are hard for maggots. Acetaminophen is almost unpronounceable. Yeah, at least for Trump it is. Is Trump a genius? How come his school records can't be found? Oh, yeah, because his dad paid for his grade. He was the worst student in the school, they said. Admitting it is the first step. William Beasley. Okay, whatever you say, yeah. Yeah, sure, man. Even though, the majority of my YouTube streams have nothing to do with Donald Trump. Yeah, you're right. He lives right up here, rent-free. I did only like 2,500 live streams before I ever even mentioned Trump. But yeah. Yeah, you're right. Whatever you say. Meanwhile, you guys couldn't shut the fuck up about Biden. You still talk about him. The guy ain't even president no more. And you got Biden in your heads. You just get on here and insult people. Basically, they don't align with you politically. You mean that don't align with me politically? No, I don't. I make points. I present facts. I ask questions. I give answers. All that stuff. I start insulting when you start insulting me. Not until then. And any of you can call me right now at 410-941-9850 and we can have a debate. You're still talking about Trump? Wow, man, lives. You see what I mean about you guys? Like, this is what you all use the same stupid phrases and everything. You're all fucking carbon copies of each other. Yeah, and now you can't stop talking about him nonstop. Well, it's because he's the president of the United States. It's kind of an important thing, just like how you guys couldn't stop talking about Biden. See, that's why you guys are hypocrites and you have no self-awareness. You know goddamn well you never shut the fuck up about Biden for 4 years, and you still talk about him. But you're talking about me being obsessed with Trump. Well, hey, Trump is the president now. He's the leader of the free world. I can't imagine a more important issue to talk about. Oh, no, Democrats have been insulting Republicans for years. Yeah, Republicans don't insult us. Like the guys in here saying demo rats, and they say demon crats and all kinds of dumb shit. Somebody said demo crap the other day. It was dumber than the usual idiot fucking words they use. Libtards, you know, did I already say that one? Call us every name in the fucking book, you know. Donald Trump, the leader of your party, stands up there and insults people's weight, even though he's grossly overweight, morbidly obese, talks about people being fat slobs, talks about people being ugly, you know, trashes people left and right, calls them every name under the sun. But yeah, it's just us. You're right. It's just us. You have TDS. I know, man. I know. Tremendous dick syndrome. It's fucking huge, man. It's huge. Democrats are the dumbest people on the planet. Oh, then you're in luck. I'm a Democrat, and you can call me at 410-941-9850, and we could see who's smarter. Why not? It is important. Yeah. Question: have you accepted any money from a Democrat PAC? I fucking wish. Look at me. I got 40 viewers right now. You think I'm getting paid for this horse shit? Nope. But why didn't you talk about Biden when he was president? Because I had no problem with Biden being president. You know how that works, right? Just like how you have no problem with Trump being president. Would you do a show bashing Trump now? No. So why would I have done a show bashing Biden when I was okay with everything he was doing? Why would I have done that? That would have been stupid, right? Yeah. It's like, gee, I got a best friend and I got an enemy. Now, Joe Biden's not my best friend, but I'm saying there's an analogy for you. I got a best friend here and an enemy here. I want to do a show bashing one of them. Which one should I pick? Which one should I pick to insult nonstop for years on YouTube? My friend or my enemy? Yeah. I'm a jerk off. Bob McWeeny, why don't you call me? We'll talk about it. Well, just like you said, Biden was a president, just like Trump was a president. You talk about Trump from his first term. Bet you're too dumb to understand that we can't talk about buying it for some. Wow, let me read that again. Well, just like you said, Biden was a president, just like Trump was a president. You talk about Trump from his first term. Bet you're too dumb to understand that we can't talk about buying it for some. Wow. That just the most rambling, incoherent nonsense I've ever read in my life. What does that mean again? What? And I don't talk about Trump from his first term. You talk about Biden not releasing the files in his term. So I say, why didn't Trump release them in his first term? Right? Because you guys forget that. You forget that Trump had the files before Biden. Plus, Biden's not accused of being in the files, but Trump is. Yeah. It's a political action committee. Yes, I certainly do. Believe me, if you know, I know. I doubt anyone would willingly give this man baby anything. Wrong. Insulting people should be insulted about the stuff Trump says about Americans in general, conservative and liberals. Oh, yeah. Trump is trashing Democrats. Oh, yeah. How's he doing that? Those fucking elections didn't go his way on November 4th, did they? It was a blue tsunami. Yeah, it was beautiful. Are you a Marxist like the rest of the Democrat Party? No. Are you a white supremacist like the rest of the Republican Party? Nah. That's fine. He stands up to boys because he was the one accusing Trump of Russiagate, who was the one who was accusing Trump of all kinds of stealth. Wow, man. What are these? Do you, when you put words together, do you put them together in order, or is it just word salad all the time? I have a low IQ on the highest levels. Trump is stomping Democrat. Okay, he's not, but okay. You guys have been calling us fascist and dictators and all this fucked up shit for how many years old? Cry me a river about us, Connie, a libtard. Wow. Holy shit. You're more illiterate than the most MAGA motherfuckers, which is pretty goddamn illiterate. What the fuck? You are a fascist, and well, you're not dictators. You support a fascist dictator. You don't have any power yourselves. You support a fascist dictator. That's not our opinion. That's a fact. Where's my hair, little bro? In your mom's bed. What? That's another thing you guys crack me up about. Am I the first bald person you've ever seen? Like, I guarantee 69 chillin' 420. If you gave me your name, right, and I pulled up your social media and put your picture up here, I could roast you to fucking death a million different ways. But you guys look at me and you're just like, oh my God, he's bald. I know I'm the only bald person you've ever seen. It's extremely rare to see a bald man. Extremely. When does that happen? I know, man. I'm one of a kind. There are no other bald people, according to you guys. When was the last time you even saw your dick? In your mother's mouth, as a matter of fact. Donald Trump is what Democrats were. The Democrats are the ones who left their base. All right, another comment that makes no sense. Biden trafficked children. Oh, yeah? How? Give me the credible source that states that. Biden flew Epstein plane, no joke. No. Charles, this is really going to bother you, but you can Google it right now. Do you mean on Epstein's plane? Because you said he flew Epstein's plane. Donald Trump was using Epstein's plane to campaign for the 2024 election. Oh, look it up. It was Jeffrey Epstein's old plane. Yeah. And Donald Trump is on the flight logs 8 times, and Biden is on the flight logs approximately 0 times. I wouldn't make a show bashing Biden, and he was a fucking kid sniffing weirdo that showers with his kid. Yeah, no, he wasn't. I never sniffed a kid. That's just somebody made up a bullshit video, and you dummies believe it without doing any research. But yes, you would. Yes, you would. If you had the talent to actually sit here and talk like this and hold somewhat of an audience, you would do it. Democrats covered up Epstein files first. How'd they do that? Jeffrey Epstein really got busted in 2019. He had a case in 2009, and it was nothing. He had sex with like a 17-year-old girl, and it was no secret at all. There was no hidden files anybody needed to release at all whatsoever. There was no call for any of that, nothing. And Alexander Acosta, who gave him a sweetheart deal, later went on to become Donald Trump's Secretary of Labor, because Donald Trump's friends with Alexander Acosta, the guy that gave Epstein a sweetheart deal. What a surprise! But tell me how Trump didn't cover them up in his first term. Biden was our worst president. Well, according to 154 presidential scholars who are literally experts in their field, conservative, liberal, and independent, Donald Trump is the worst president of all time. He's doing much better than any president in your lifetime. Inflation is up. Unemployment is up. Job numbers are horrible. Grocery prices are up. Utilities are up. How's he doing so good exactly? What legislation has he passed in this term that you really like? Yeah, you just keep saying that, so bye-bye. Now, about the viewers, money or EFT are traceable. All right. I think you should ask the guy that sniffed little kids on TV for 4 fucking years, not the guy that's trying to end wars and free people. Donald Trump hasn't ended any wars, believe me. He's not trying to end a war. He's trying to make Ukraine give up their territory and just surrender, okay, because he's Putin's puppet. And Joe Biden, again, I will explain it again to you, and you can Google it. I'll tell you what, Quint, this is all you have to do right now. You get on your phone, you hit Google, right? And then you say, did Biden sniff kids? Okay, and let me show you. I'm going to do it for you since apparently you can't use Google. Did Joe Biden sniff kids? False claims circulating online that President Joe Biden sniffed kids are based on digitally altered videos and images. Fact-checking organizations, including the Associated Press and Reuters, have confirmed that a widely shared video from June 2023, which appeared to show Biden loudly sniffing a baby at Fort Liberty, was digitally edited to add the sniffing sound. The original unedited video only shows him leaning in to speak to the baby. See, guys, when I say shit about Trump, it's true. When you say shit about Biden, it's completely made up. Obama had, how's that possible when the big bust of Epstein was in 2019? How's that possible? And let's just say you're right, which you're not. Let's just say you are, and Obama didn't release them. Again, I'll ask you, why didn't Trump release them in his first term? You can't win this argument, guys. It was time for the dumb people to get their dumb president. It goes back and forth. You're correct, Josie. Biden never did anything for 40 years in the Senate. What bills did he sponsor? How about his presidency? And he did shit in the Senate. But in his presidency, what about like the American Rescue Plan, the Inflation Reduction Act, the CHIPS and Science Act, the PACT Act, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill? What about stuff like that? What about that? Give me 1 second, guys. Hit the like button and subscribe. It's very, very important. Very, very important. Talk to, text, idiot, play, fucked up sometimes. Yeah. Don't talk to text. It makes a stupid person seem even stupider. The real Italian stallion. Hello. Thank you. I appreciate that, real Italian stallion. Now, guys, everybody hit the like and subscribe. And if you would like to, and it will get your comment read too, send a super chat or Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. Thank you. You're nothing but a liar. Then there's nothing going on with Epstein and Biden was in office. There was no files. You're nothing but a liar then. There's nothing going on with Epstein. One Biden was in office. There was no files. I'm sorry, what? What is it? What are you saying? Because that's when I have seen first got caught. He was going to court then under Biden. He was already in jail and charged with everything. Quint, you might want to use that Google machine again because Jeffrey Epstein died under Trump's administration. He never made it to Biden's administration. How you like me now? He was going to court then under Biden. You dipshit. What's up, Chris? Oh, I read that one. Why would he release them in his first term? Who was even asking for them to be released? They weren't even a topic. Sure they were. Sure they were. Yeah. Yep. Just as much of a topic as they were under Biden. There was no Inflation Reduction Act. That was all a big lie. Yeah, there was an Inflation Reduction Act. It didn't do shit for decreasing inflation, but it created like 700,000 manufacturing jobs and stuff. It did some shit. The fact that you say it doesn't exist is astounding. My food is cheaper, my gas is cheaper, my medicine's cheaper. Well, you can thank Biden. Biden lowered the cost of prescription drugs, specific ones anyway, like insulin, shit like that. And he opened up negotiations with drug companies so, Medicare could be charged less for drugs, shit like that. But your food isn't cheaper, where even if you say it is. Groceries are up everywhere in the country. And gas is about, on average, nationwide, about 2 cents a gallon less than it was last year. But everything else you buy is more expensive because of Trump's tariffs. If Biden did nothing in 40 years in government, he wouldn't have been elected over and over. Of course. These guys are idiots. They hear Trump say that, and the Republicans. Biden did nothing in the Senate for 40 years. Okay. This guy absolutely has an air stem back of his head full of air. Well said. Biden said he loves sniffing children's heads. What the fuck? Wow, Quint, you actually said that after I read to you that never happened? You actually still had the balls. You guys are bold liars. Like a lot of people lie and they're a little nervous about lying because they might get caught. You actually already got caught in the Biden sniffing kids lie, and then you doubled down and said that Biden said he loves children sniffing children's heads. I'll tell you what, Quint, if you'll give me the title of that video, I will shut my channel down permanently and you win. How about that? You still crying? No, just talking. You crazy, what he do that? I just named you a bunch of stuff. And his 40 years in Congress, I mean, what exactly was he supposed to have done exactly, specifically? What was he supposed to have done? Can you explain? That he didn't do. I'm interested. No, D Brown. No, it's not. You guys are fucking amazing. You don't know that there's no single price of gas. You really don't know that, D Brown. You don't know that where I am, gas is a different price than where you are. And where everybody else in the chat is, it's a different price of gas where you are. You don't get that? You think gas is just $2.82 across the board? You can't be serious. You can't be. I know you guys are dumb, but holy shit. Unbelievable. He literally sniffed kids. There's a montage of YouTube of him literally doing it. You dumb waste of space. No, it's digitally altered. I just read it to you. There's mad fact-checking websites you can check. He never sniffed kids. You guys are just liars, and you add sound effects and shit to videos. It's what you do with everything. Joe Biden wasn't even coherent for those 4 years. If you insist on giving someone credit, give it to his handlers. He had nothing to do with it. Why did I see him give so many good speeches during that 4 years then? Why is that? What was I seeing things? That wasn't really Biden giving those speeches? Huh. You said there was nothing going on. There was no files under Biden administration. No, I didn't. I never said that, not once. You're hearing things. I said, if you're asking why the files weren't released under Biden, then tell me why they weren't released under Trump. Tell me. Trump will release all lists and files, assholes. He's not on them. Oh, no, he won't. He could do it right now, Franklin. Why isn't he doing it? They didn't even need to go through Congress. He could have just done it like that, and he could still do it right now. Why won't he? Trump's greatest quote ever: "We won with the poorly educated." I love the poorly educated. Where do you think you fall? Yeah, and they cheered for him. They cheered when he said it. This chat is absolutely geared towards the far left Kool-Aid drinkers who are actually going to destroy the Democrat Party. Well, this chat is like 90% MAGA, but we don't drink Kool-Aid, so to speak. At least not the kind you drink. Kool-Aid is delicious, but you guys are the ones that are brainwashed by a cult leader. And the fact that you don't know that is another thing that is just amazing to me. It's like you guys have zero self-awareness. You guys don't even realize when you're presented with facts and you just choose to ignore them, or when you see evidence of something, you just choose to ignore it because you cannot bring yourself to admit that dear leader is wrong. It's amazing. Yeah, MDMK. I didn't say it. Reuters said it. Associated Press said it. Let's see. I'll do it again. You ready? Listen close this time, MDMK. Did Joe Biden sniff kids? Fact check. Video of Biden loudly sniffing a baby is digitally edited. Reuters. A video of U.S. President Joe Biden interacting with a mother and her baby has been digitally altered to add loud sniffing sounds. Oh, it's like telling a kid that there's no Santa after he's believed in Santa for so long. I'm sorry to break your hearts, but everything you say and everything that's said to you from Fox News and Trump, it's all bullshit. 304 to 306 is the national average, and 290 here in Mass, down from $4 plus. Yeah, and last year at this time, John Pacente, gas was 306 and 307, I believe, on average. So, uh, so it's down in Mass from $4 plus. Yeah, but it's literally down about 2 cents a gallon on average. You're full of shit. Joey sucked. Joey? He did the 94 crime bill and said the N-word 9 times in Congress. Do you want to know why he said the N-word? Do you guys want me to keep hurting your feelings? Do you want to know why? All right. I'm going to show you guys just because I like his. Just because I like his. Did Joe Biden say the N-word in Congress? Oh my God. User clip, full context of Biden N-word quote. Uh-oh. Here, give me 1 second. I'm going to break your hearts.
When you became pregnant, you knew everything would change.
I'm not pregnant. Give it a second. You'll see. Here we go. Oh, you motherfucker, you.
Court on the court's part indicated clearly there was intent on the part of the parties involved to discriminate against black people. And notwithstanding the fact that those findings of fact were not required in order to make a judgment that under Section 2 there was a violation, nonetheless, if you take those findings of fact, they establish intent, even though the court did not have as its obligation or its right or its duty to go forward and make a finding with regard to intent. It was not relevant to the Section 2 finding. And so, but what they said clearly indicates that there was intent. The court found the plan with unerring precision slices through the city's traditional subunit, the ward in a racially selective manner, leaving intact predominantly white wards while carving up those densely populated by blacks. As of the governor, the court concludes, quote, the governor's opposition to the Nunes plan was predicated in significant part on his delineation of a majority black district centered in Orleans Parish. In a confidential portions of your staff memo, they brought to your attention the allegation that important legislators in defeating the Nunes plan in the basement said, quote, we already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots. And the court cited evidence of discriminatory intent on the part of other legislators, including the representative who testified at the court hearing, that there were legislators, quote, who don't feel they wanted to have a district that would be able to elect a black representative. And, although he doesn't give actual evidence of intent, we have the...
Oh, no. Oh, no. What do you know? You're wrong again. Oh, my God. It's got to be crushing to you. It's got to be devastating. Yeah, he was quoting somebody. He was actually fighting against racism and quoting somebody. Yeah, but you don't understand that you're dumb and you're being fooled all the time. So what you're shown is just a clip of him saying the N-word and the quote itself without him saying, quote. So you think it was him saying it. Nope, it was him quoting somebody. Sorry, but that kind of thing happens in Congress. How do you guys feel about that? Will any of you say, now this is a good game we're going to play because I already know the answer. But will any of you guys say, my bad, I was wrong. He didn't just say the word like that. He was quoting somebody. Will any of you do it? Let's see if any of you will be man enough to say, shit, you were right. You were right. I'm not black. Who said I was, Espo? That's a ridiculous question to Google. Yeah, but you can do it, and I just did it. All right, this guy just keeps saying you ain't black, so we'll do away with him. Let's see. Trump was sued in the 70s for not letting black families move into his properties. Racist, yep. What kind of warped live stream is this? It's one kind. Let me see. That is just your absolute truth. I don't know. I'm confused here. Gas prices all depend on whether you have a Democrat running your state or not. Look no further than California. Yeah, that's not true. That's not true. Gas prices aren't cheaper in Republican states because Republicans run them. That's just not true. Tell me how. How would that be? How would that be? Out of curiosity. Your life revolves around answers Google gives you. No. That wasn't, see, this is where you guys mistake shit. If I would have just read something from Google, you could say that. Except, first of all, and by the way, when you Google something, Google gives you the correct answer. Okay? They're not giving you a fake answer. $1 zillion a year company is not just going to lie to you and risk everything. Okay? Google gives you the correct answer. But this is what you'll do since you don't trust them. You just look at the sources. When you Google something, there's like the other day, somebody said Trump wasn't found civilly liable for sexual assault. So you know what source I pulled up? Fox News, since that's the only one you believe. So when you Google a question, you'll get mad results. And then what you do is you can check all of them if you want, or just some of them, and you can come to your own conclusion based on that evidence. Okay. Now, what I just did was not giving you an answer from Google. It was literally showing what actually happened in Congress when Joe Biden spoke those words. Now, can any of you say, I'm sorry, I'm my fault? Can any of you do it? Oh, yeah. Wow. Even after you just saw that, you're still going to say it, huh? See, that's what I mean. Quint, you are the perfect example of what we talk about every day on this show. You are blind and brainwashed. I just showed you that Joe Biden only used that word when he was quoting someone else. And you said Joe Biden said the N-word because Joe Biden's a fucking racist, but he didn't. You even saw it. I actually proved it to you. There's no denying that when he said that word, he was quoting someone else. And you still say he said it because he's a racist. We laugh at you guys, Quint. People like you, the whole fucking world does. Because I've never met a Democrat who could be shown rock solid proof of something and say, nope, not true. It's MAGA and MAGA only. It's not even all Republicans. It's MAGA. You guys have been so brainwashed by this fucking guy that I just showed you rock solid proof of something you believe to be true, and it proved that it was false, and you're still saying it's true. Google doesn't know anything. Think about that for a second. Google is the largest search engine in the world that gathers answers from a zillion sources. When you ask it a question, a zillion different sources give it the answer. And Google doesn't know anything. How come they're never wrong for me? When I ask Google a question and then I check other sources, it's always correct. Why is that? You guys were also convinced that Google lies to you. You were convinced that the world's leading scientists lie to you. The disease specialists lie to you. Democrats lie to you. Everybody lies to you except for the guy who lies more than anyone in the history of America 30,000 times in his first term, 30,000 verifiable lies. He's the only guy you believe. So you could say I get my answers from Google, and I'll just say you get your answers from Trump. I live in Oklahoma. We have Republicans running our state. Gas costs $2.45 per gallon. So you contribute that to the fact that Republicans are running your state. You contribute it to that fact? Just asking. Just asking. Fox News, all fake news, and it's legal. Yeah, John Pasante, that's right. If you don't know whether to vote for me or Trump, you ain't black, a direct Biden quote. Well, it was a stupid thing to say, but I understand what he was saying. He shouldn't have said it as a guy running for president, but it makes sense. In other words, Donald Trump hates black people, hates them with a fucking passion. So if you have a choice between a guy who isn't racist and a guy who historically has been proven to be, then you ain't too bright, you know? So I know exactly what he meant. And in a way, he was right. If you're a black person that votes for a guy who hates you, I don't know what to tell you, you know? 1985 is he, and he is correct. Thank you, John. BS Google is full of fake shit. What the fuck you even saying, ass clown? Can you give me some examples of things Google has gotten wrong? Florida has no state tax, but taxes the fuck out of gas and cigarettes. Yeah, of course. To think that red states have lowest gas prices because they're red states is one of the craziest thing I ever heard. And I live in a red state, and gas is $3.19 here now, and it was $2.99 when Biden left office. So, yeah, unknown trader, no shit. That was not when Biden said racial slurs. When did he say racial slurs then? This dude is such a hack. Tell me how, or call in 410-941-9850 and you could tell me all about it. We could have a little debate. Biden authored the racist crime bill. Let me ask you something. What made that crime bill racist? Can you tell me? What made it racist? Be specific. Curious as to what you have to say. We were all part of the Matrix. Okay. Biden best buddy was a KKK Grand Wizard. You mean a fellow senator? Donald Trump's father was affiliated with the KKK. And Donald Trump has been endorsed by the KKK. He's chicken shit to call in. I know he is. Mate, you are proof that humanity is failing. Why is that exactly? What is it about me that's proof of that? Could you tell me? Because it's funny, like you don't know me. I know my life. So when you say something like that, I wonder, what is he basing that on? Can you tell me? Conspiracy theory addiction is real. Oh yeah. MAGA people, that's all they believe is ridiculous conspiracy theories. Where are my blacks? Trump. Yeah. Didn't he say that's my he pointed at a woman too. It's that's my favorite black or something like that. Yeah. You guys don't like to bring those things up. Nobody cares about the red and blue BS. I would have to say you're probably wrong there. Let me see. You did when you talked about sniffing heads with Biden. Oh, yeah, because it's true. Google isn't just going to say that. You do realize that, right, Quint? Like, Google isn't just going to say that. And it wasn't from Google either, jackass. It was from fucking Reuters. Look, did Joe Biden sniff kids? They get their answers from somewhere. You know that, right? Video clips and images that appear to show President Biden sniffing children have been widely circulated online, but fact checkers, not Google, fact checkers have confirmed that these images and videos are either digitally altered or show routine playful interactions being misrepresented. Altered videos, a widely shared video from July 2023, which appeared to show Biden loudly sniffing a baby at Fort Liberty, was digitally altered. The original video, filmed by the baby's mother, does not contain any sniffing sounds. Okay. Now let's see. Reuters fact check. Video of Biden loudly sniffing a baby is digitally edited. Here, you want to fucking see it right there? You don't understand. When you Google something, you don't have to take the answer from Google. Are you guys for real? You don't know how Google works? Look, this is all the things you could take the fucking answer from. And you could compare shit. And you could, look, I hit more search results. You could just keep, you know what I mean? You can come to your own fucking conclusion. It just keeps going, guys. You think there's one answer and it's just from Google? Holy shit. This fucking guy, didn't I just prove to him? Oh, yeah. I proved to him that Biden wasn't using the N-word in a racist way, and he denied it. But now he's saying, even though I also proved that the videos were digitally altered, that it didn't matter because of where I got the answer from. Okay. No, it doesn't. It's known to be very biased. It's known that by, it's known to be that by right-wing conspiracy theorists. And you got to understand, guys, you're told that for a reason. Let me explain something to you about Donald Trump. Okay. Donald Trump is a lifetime liar, lied his whole life, disloyal to everybody in his life, cheated on every wife he ever had, piece of shit human being, piece of fucking dog shit human being. Now, he has a horrible past between the racist lawsuits, the fucking the 27 accusations of sexual assault, the accusation of raping a 13-year-old, being best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, stiffing contractors and union workers who built his buildings, failing at business and going bankrupt 6 times. He has a terrible past. Okay. So, and he even admitted this to Barbara Walters years ago. She asked him, "Why do you call us fake news?" And Donald Trump said, "Because I have to discredit you." In other words, he has so many skeletons in his closet that he has to convince people like you that anything you see that's negative about him is bullshit, because there's so much negative about him. He knew there's no way, if he didn't convince you that all this news was fake and you heard all this shit, maybe even you people wouldn't have voted for him. So the first thing he did was coin the term fake news and convince you that everything that goes against Trump or speaks negatively of him or anything is fake news. Or even if it's a video that you don't like. I played videos of Trump and you say it's AI. He's convinced you of all this stuff. They've convinced you that Google lies in favor of the left wing. It's crazy. It's batshit fucking crazy. I have yet to really hear anything about Trump reported that was not true. A lot of the problem with most of you guys, though, is that you didn't even know this guy. You didn't know who Donald Trump was. You knew him from The Apprentice, Unless, let me tell you something, unless you grew up in New York, you shouldn't say shit. Because it's the people like me who grew up in New York that knew who Donald Trump was from a very young age, who read the tabloids about him all the time and heard the stories about him all the time. You guys see him on The Apprentice, you think he's awesome because he fires people. Then he says Mexicans are rapists and you're all jerking off to pictures of them. That's why you guys aren't respected. You don't stand for any fucking thing. You just hate who he hates. So you'll defend him no matter what. It's pathetic. Like this guy, whether it was Quint or somebody else who brought up Biden saying the N-word, not only were they wrong, and it turned out he was just quoting somebody, but they don't bring up all the racist shit Trump has said. They just ignore that. So it's not that they're against racism. It's just that they thought Biden did something racist that they could use against them. You know what I mean? It's just like the Epstein files. It was you guys, not us. Remember? It was the right, not the left, that was going ape shit for years about the Epstein files. The 2 biggest podcasters who were pushing the fact that the Epstein files exist and need to be released was Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, the director and deputy director of Trump's FBI, even though Kash is about to get fired. They were the ones saying that the files are in the hands of the Department of Justice and can be released anytime. I just watched the video of them saying it a few hours ago. Okay. You wanted those files until it became perfectly clear to you that the main star of those files is Donald Trump. Now you don't give a fuck. You were all against pedophilia when you thought it was the Democrats. Now it's Trump, and you're like, oh shit, fuck. What files? Who cares about the files? If you can't stand up against pedophilia, no matter who the pedophile is, you're a fucking piece of shit. Truly, truly. I don't give a fuck if Joe Biden, Obama, if every Democrat in the world is on that list. I want them all going to jail. All going to jail. I don't care if they get put in front of a fucking firing squad. But you guys are like, you'll let all the pedophilia go. 1,000 Epstein victims. And you'd rather none of it comes to light than it coming to light and Trump being exposed. That's why nobody respects you guys. I have yet to see you guys really stand for anything. Anything. Yeah, that's kind of what I do for a living. That's the entire purpose of these shows, dipshit. What should I talk about? Gardening? And you do know that Donald Trump is the leader of the free world, right? So there is literally no more important subject in the world to be discussing. You guys are so dumb when you say that. Trump took down the pedos and your pedo cult is mad at Trump. Oh my God. This is what I mean, guys. I mean, how did he do that? Tell me. I'm going to wait for your answer. Tell me how he took down the pedos. I'll wait. How do you take down the pedos? Guys, please hit the like button and subscribe. And I mean it. Listen, there's a lot of you in here who agree with me, especially if you agree with me. Hit the like button. Do it now, please. You'll forget. Very simple. It's right under the video. Hit the like button. Or maybe on these videos, it's up at the top or something. Hit the like and subscribe. Please, guys, I'm trying to build this channel. Please hit the like and subscribe right now. Just take a second to do it. Thank you. How do I take myself out? What does that mean? Who are the fact checkers? Come on, you must know how that works. See what I mean? So in other words, Mike, it's like I said, you believe Donald Trump, but nobody else. Reuters, I'm pretty sure, is more right-leaning, and they said it. I mean, it's unbelievable that you guys, it doesn't matter the amount of proof you're showing. You have an idea in your head and nobody's going to change your mind. And that's why I do these shows and talk about Trump every day, dickheads. Because somebody needs to talk sense into you fucking morons. Somebody. You're dangerous. You're dangerous to yourselves. The fact that you have the same right to vote as smart people is fucking terrifying. Holy shit. Why didn't Democrats push to release it in the past 4 years? And Jeffrey was Democrat, and I agree with you. Anyone in the file should go to jail, but there is still no evidence Trump is in it. Blacks, Zaddy, whatever your name is. That's another thing that drives me crazy. Do you pay attention to the news? Do you? Google right now, Pam Bondi tells Trump he's in the Epstein files. It is 1,000% fact that he's in the Epstein files. Black. I'll just call you Black. Do you understand that? 1,000%. There is no doubt, no shadow of a doubt he's in the Epstein files. Bro, they just dropped 30,000 emails that Jeffrey Epstein had between his brother, him and Ghislaine Maxwell, him and Michael Wolff. Donald Trump is the most prominently named. 1,686 times out of 30,000 emails Trump is mentioned, more than anyone else. What do you mean there's no proof he's in the files? It's Pam Bondi in May went to Trump and said, your name is in the files numerous times. That's why they came out in June after Pam Bondi told you in fucking February, the files are on my desk. The Epstein list is on my desk. Pam Bondi goes through them. Uh-oh, Trump's in them. She tells Trump they assigned 1,000 FBI agents. You could check all this out from any news source you want to redact his name. Okay. And then June comes around and there is no Epstein list. That's what they told you. Even though Pam Bondi just said it was on her desk. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? And again, I'll ask you the same question I asked them, Black. If you want to know why Biden didn't release the files during those 4 years, I want you to tell me why Trump didn't release them between 2019 and 2021. Oh, God, I know. He helped FBI arrest Epstein as an informant. I knew that's what you were going to say, Scott Kibler. And that's what scares me about you guys. That is literally 100% fabricated. Not true. Never happened. Never happened. Trump has never even said that. And why wouldn't he? He'd be a hero. Why wouldn't he say, not only am I not in the files, I helped the FBI? Mike Johnson his back was against the wall. The whole world could see that he was covering up the files. So he comes out one day and says Trump was an FBI informant. He helped the FBI with Epstein. Then Trump spoke to him. And the next day he said, I retract my statement. I made a mistake. Okay. You find me any credible source in the world that says Donald Trump talked to the FBI about Jeffrey Epstein, and I will shut my channel down forever. It's not true. It's never been true. All Donald Trump did was, after Epstein got busted, the victim's lawyers, the Epstein victim's lawyer, subpoenaed a bunch of people, and he was calling the people. I guess he subpoenaed, and he said Trump is the only one that answered his call. He said Trump spoke to him, and it helped him a little, but he didn't say with what. He never said if it was anything that had to do with the sex trafficking or anything. And guess what? Of course it didn't. You know why? Because he would have been implicating himself. How would you know about it? And if you knew about it, how come you didn't tell nobody? Donald Trump never worked with the FBI as an informant. You guys are fucking insane. And I would Google it for you, but it wouldn't matter, would it? It would still somehow not be true in your eyes, correct? I'll do it any fucking way. Did Donald Trump ever work with the FBI against Jeffrey Epstein? No, Donald Trump was never an FBI informant or an agent working against Jeffrey Epstein. The claim that he was is inaccurate and has been walked back by the official who made it, Mike Johnson. Official denials. The White House has denied that Trump was an FBI informant. FBI Director Kash Patel explicitly stated under oath to the House Judiciary Committee that Donald Trump was never an informant for the FBI in the Epstein sex trafficking case. So now you don't believe Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, Trump's good friend, the guy who you all wanted so bad to be in charge of the FBI. You could find the video of him saying it under oath on YouTube right now. Are you saying that Kash Patel is lying? This is why you guys get so mad at me, man, because I crush all your hopes and dreams. Tammy Stanzel, I'm sorry, $5. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful that we only have 3 years of less of this. Me too. Thank you, Tammy, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Don't listen to the racist. He just said the N-word. Report him. Who said the N-word? I said the N-word? When was that? Oh, you're just spamming the chat. Gotcha. People in chat, name one thing Trump has done to help you. Yes, please do. Fucking morons. LOL, you're cracking me up. Thank you for making me laugh. I hope you and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Sherry, I'm not sure which morons you're talking to, but I hope you and your family have a happy Thanksgiving as well. Bro, no one cares. This is really dumb and sexiest comment. God almighty. Does this guy in any way, shape, or form just refer to me as sexy? He was investigated by the FBI many times. Who was? Epstein? Yeah, not Trump. Google is a propaganda scraper. No wonder you're so dumb. You forgot an apostrophe in the word your. You just blindly believe whatever you're told, which affirms your delusions. See, that's what I mean, Scott. Again, I am the person that will stand up for Trump when anybody lies about him. I did it like 3 times yesterday on my different live streams. Anytime there's a lie about Trump, I'll admit that it's a lie, right? I talk shit about Democrats. I talk shit about everybody, right? You guys literally, Scott, I'm showing you rock solid evidence that you're wrong about these things and you're still insisting you're right. And you say that I blindly believe whatever I'm told. You literally follow Trump blindly, and no matter what he does, he's never wrong. If Trump raped a 5-year-old girl on fucking YouTube live and then I don't even want to go any further. You guys would say either he didn't do it, it was AI, or it was good for the country somehow. You guys are sick people. You're sick. And again, even that, bro, you think I got to believe Google? PBS, The Guardian, NBC News, U.S. House Judiciary Committee, Democrat. Look, this is literally the thing right here. U.S. House Judiciary Committee. It tells you that Kash Patel testified that under oath that Trump was never an informant. It's not Google, fuckface. It's everything. It's everything. Politico. Live now from Fox. Congress.gov. God almighty. Again, I just named all the sources. Google has a ton of sources. And I'll tell you what, Google some shit and just tell me when you find Google to be lying to you. I'm curious. Yeah, just none of it good. Yeah. Obama's chief of staff was working hand in hand with Epstein. Says you. AI will never be honest without you debating and proving it's lying. Well, I haven't used any AI, so I don't even know what you're talking about. Kash Patel's girlfriend is really aged. I don't know about all that. I just know Kash Patel's getting fired. You're just the opposite. You hate everything about him no matter what he does. No, I don't. People ask me every show, what do you like about Trump? Now, as a person, there's nothing to like. As a president, there isn't much either. But the First Step Act, that was good. I mean, kind of. A lot of killers walked free. But the First Step Act, I think, was good overall. Operation Warp Speed was good. You know, I'll give him credit for the shit he does right. Getting the hostages freed was fantastic. Personally, that I don't think Kamala would have done. If Joe Biden stayed in office, I don't think he would have done it. That's a great thing that Trump did. See, I'm not like you guys. And I'll tell you, Biden was terrible on the border. And Obama's drone program was fucking horrendous. But when I ask you guys, if I ask you right now, what has Trump done wrong in your eyes? I bet you don't answer. You're lying. You're only taking one part of one comment and omitting all the thousands of others. What are you saying? That I'm not reading all the comments? Do you think that's humanly possible? Have you ever done a live stream? Do you see how many comments are in here? I get like 4,000 comments a show. And here's the way you guys do it. If I try to read all the comments, you'll scream at me because I'm so far behind in the chat. If I skip through so I'm not behind in the chat, you scream at me because I'm not reading all the comments. There's no winning with you guys. Kamala was border czar. No, she wasn't. Nobody gave her that title but you guys. You are using AI now, dumbass. No. The Google thing is AI. The sources are not. And AI, guys, it's one thing if you're talking about an AI video that could be completely phony. Do you realize when AI like ChatGPT or Google comes up with an answer, that answer comes from a 1,000 different sources. They understand it. AI, artificial intelligence, figures out what the correct answer is, and that's what you get. ChatGPT would be fucking sued. They'd be bankrupt. So would Google if they were giving wrong answers. You guys are amazing. It's like I said, you've been convinced that anything that doesn't fit your narrative is fake somehow. You're even questioning AI now, for Christ's fucking sake. Oh my God. Oh, they are, Sherry, no doubt. Other people are sick while you spend 24/7 online and neglect your own family, fool. Other people are sick. All right, well, just a little bit about me real quick. So I'm a father of a daughter. It's about to be 25 next month. I raised her since she was born. I'm a stepfather to 2 kids now. I'm a loving husband to my beautiful, gorgeous wife, Shanna. Okay, and my mother, who just passed on June 29th of this year, I brought her in here to live with us, me and my wife, for 7 years, and I took care of her every day for that 7 years. My job is to come on YouTube and talk. I do shows about other stuff. I make a living off of that. I'm getting into the politics thing more and more. This is literally my occupation. I spend about 6 hours a day on YouTube now. It used to only be 2. For four and a half years, it was only 2 hours a day. Now I spend about 6 hours a day. So what you're saying basically is that if you work a job, whether you work 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 hours a day, you're a fool and you're neglecting your own family. See, you guys got to watch who you're talking to because you don't know anything about people. You don't know anything about people. You don't. You don't. You guys have also been convinced that people like me live in my mother's basement. Meanwhile, I could probably buy and fucking sell you, honestly. He was just, he was just spamming the chat with that. Probably a bot. Do you know that just because your name is in the Epstein files doesn't make you guilty of anything? Are you aware of that? It takes more than having your name in there. Yeah, no shit, Mike. No shit. Have you heard me say that Donald Trump is guilty of anything? He's in the files. And here's the thing, Mike. There's something called common sense. Okay. And Occam's razor. You know what Occam's razor is? The easiest answer is usually the correct one. Okay. When a guy is deliberately covering up something like the Epstein files, and it is a fact that he is in them, then you don't have to wonder if he's guilty of anything. He's already given you the answer. Because let me tell you something. If Trump was just in there for just because he happened to know the guy or because he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, he would have released that shit first day in office and laughed at everybody and said, "Told you, bitch, I didn't do nothing wrong." He's actively covered up the Epstein files for months. Mike Johnson shut down Congress for 2 months because they didn't want to swear in Adelita Grijalva and have her sign that discharge petition. The discharge petition to release the Epstein files, which, by the way, had 218 names on it, and 4 of them were Republicans. 214 were Democrats. There's no question that he's done some things wrong. Guilty of crimes? I don't know if that can be proven. But has he done things wrong that he doesn't want to be seen in those files? There's absolutely no question. He's telling that to us every day, every day. Oh, of course. Yeah. Donald Trump was quoted saying once, it's on video. He said, Democrats, the country does better when Democrats run it. So everyone's name who's in the Epstein files is guilty of something automatically. Again, Mike, you're not listening. No. But whoever is deliberately going out of their way to cover it up, I assure you they're guilty of something. Otherwise, they wouldn't be covering it up. No, there's plenty of people in the Epstein files that he crossed paths with, maybe people that flew on his jet that didn't do anything wrong. Donald Trump just isn't one of them. Mike, 30,000 emails. His name was in them 1,686 times, more than anyone else. And some of those emails read, Donald Trump spent hours at my house alone with the victim, the 15-year-old girl. Another one was Donald Trump knew all about the girls, stuff like that. Yeah, no, none of that is incriminating at all. But keep telling me about how Joe Biden is definitely a pedophile because a digitally altered video showed him sniffing somebody's hair. You see how disingenuous you guys were? If this was Joe Biden and you saw 1/10 of the evidence there is against Trump, you'd have him tried and convicted. In your minds, at least. In the court of public opinion, he'd already be a pedo. But Donald Trump, I could show you mountains of evidence, and you're like, nah, it's still not enough. Oh, shit. Guys with wrenches, anybody spamming the chat, please block them. Trump responded or reopened the investigation and started real investigations for the first time. Read the files. Those emails were proven false, paid by DNC. No, they weren't, Scott. And no, he didn't. He reopened the investigation into Epstein. When did he do that? See what I mean? You guys just make shit up. Ryan Stevenson, what's up, Paisan? God damn, I almost choked on fucking water. So tell me when Donald Trump reopened the Epstein investigation. When was that exactly? Trump's name is in the files, so therefore he must be guilty of what? Tell us. So you're not going to answer my question. Okay. You know that Donald Trump was accused of raping a 13-year-old girl with Jeffrey Epstein, right? And you could find her deposition on YouTube. Donald Trump, you know what? It's a ridiculous arguing with you. You're right. Donald Trump, the guy who did all this, is definitely not in any way, shape, or form perverted or a guy who would, rape a child.
Charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s that included underage girls as young as 14 years old.
Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
He routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of it.
Yeah. She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon's?
She's got Marlon's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, look at that piece of I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that, women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I standing there with no...
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
A lawsuit against the presumptive GOP nominee alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old.
Prince Andrew answering questions for the first time about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story.
Trump has been photographed with Prince Andrew as far back as the year 2000.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean...
you are one.
All right, I was going to say that. But it's true.
Let's get back to genius Scott Kibler. Scott Kibler, all it takes is reading the files. If you didn't that, you'd understand how every single thing just said is PRPVEN, false, concretely, without dispute. Okay, so Scott, two things. One, the Epstein files have not been released. So I have no idea what you're talking about, except for maybe the emails. And you don't have to read every email, Scott. Just like you certainly wouldn't, by the way, if it was Biden. There's an email that only says, Donald Trump was at my house with the victim for hours alone. There's another email that says Donald Trump knew about the girls. So what exactly do I have to read to put that in context exactly? What would it be? You know what the sad part is, bro? They'd probably give their daughters to Trump if he asked for her. But affordability wins out over files. Find a way for people to afford to buy homes, and that's a winning party. Yeah, and that's not happening. Housing is up under Trump. Of course he is, yeah. That's bullshit. Trump never done any of that. That's all Democrats. They will do anything to bury Trump because he's the king. See what I mean? Tony jerks off to pictures of Donald Trump. The Democrats, again, are the only reason the Epstein files might be released. The Democrats. I'm not creating a narrative. I'm literally, everything I say, I'm proving to you guys. You just refuse to believe it's proof or acknowledge it, Bro, the woman said in that document he never did anything wrong, my guy. First of all, don't call me my guy. Okay, I'm not your fucking boyfriend. That's the gayest shit in the world. Don't call me my guy. Number one. Number two, you're talking about Virginia Giuffre, the one who just killed herself because she was so fucking terrified. Okay, that girl, I don't believe. Very simple. She said Trump didn't do anything to her. I don't believe her. And here's the thing. If she said Trump did do something to her, you wouldn't believe her. So you guys only pick what fits your narrative. So if somebody says something good about Trump, you believe them. If it's bad, you don't. I'll tell you why I don't believe her. Because the Epstein file, the email, said he was with her at Epstein's house alone for hours. She was 15. What were they doing exactly? What was a guy in his 50s doing at the most prolific pedophile in history's house with a 15-year-old girl for hours? I'll tell you very simply, and you don't have to believe this, doesn't matter. You guys don't have any common sense anyway. When Katie Johnson sued Donald Trump in 2016 for R-wording her when she was 13, you animals, MAGA, the same type of animals that did what they did on January 6th, were terrorizing her. You're threatening to kill her. She was getting death threats left and right. People coming to her house and fucking with her. She was terrified, dropped the lawsuit. Virginia Giuffre she knew fully well what would happen if she accused Donald Trump. So she had a choice. Do I just talk about the guy who's dead and can't hurt me? Or do I talk about the most powerful man in the world who has an army of animals who will do anything to kill me after I speak out? I don't believe her. And here's the other thing, Jules. There is 1,000 FBI agents. That's not disputed. That's a fact. There's 1,000 Epstein agents. 1,000 Epstein victims. 1,000 Epstein victims. So even if he didn't do anything to Virginia Giuffre, doesn't mean he didn't do anything, period. And personally, I believe he did rape Virginia Giuffre. I believe it 100%. Over 300,000 files have been released. Stop pretending every one of those emails was taken out of context. Would you care to go one by one through all 30K? I'm down. Scott Kibler, I'll tell you what, instead, why don't you call and have a little debate with me? 410-941-9850. And by the way, you are either one of the biggest liars or one of the most misinformed people I have ever come across in my life. There's not even 300 pages total, most likely, 300,000 pages total in the Epstein files. Okay. They said there's about 200,000 more that haven't been released. And they've only released about 45,000, 49,000 files. And the ones they released in the beginning of Trump's term were already released under Biden in 2024. There was not over 300,000 files released, you sick fuck. And I'll tell you what, if there was, all you got to do is get on Google right now, give me your source, your credible source. I will pull it up. And if I'm wrong, I will turn my channel over to you. You have my word. If there was over 300,000 Epstein files already released, my channel, which has made probably $500,000 in the last 4.5 years, you can have it. How's that for a deal? That's not true at all. She didn't say that. She said he was a gentleman to her. That's all she said. I actually have read all the files that have been released. You read over 40,000 files? No, you haven't. According to you, 300,000 files. Scott, you're a Trump supporter. You can barely read. How'd you do that? Please. I don't know what you're talking about, Kashmir News. You got to put a whole comment. I don't know what that means. When the MAGAites wouldn't take no for the answer concerning Epstein files, he called them deep state shills. Oh, yeah. He told Marjorie Taylor Greene it is an act of hostility if she signs the discharge petition to release the files. No, they aren't. Massey authored the bill. What the fuck? This dude is such a liar. Okay, now I'm going to go to the bottom. Now you tell me how many names. Massey authored the discharge petition, right? How many names on that bill or on that petition were Republicans? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll wait. How many of them were Republicans? No, Don Smith. Listening to Donald Trump for an answer would be way better. No. I didn't say only Democrats. You twist my words. I said Democrats are, I might have said they were the only reason, which I'd be correct. Okay. He might have authored the petition, but 214 out of 218 of the signatures were Democrats. Okay. And the last signature was Adelita Grijalva, a Democrat who was just elected in Arizona about 2 months ago. Now, when she was elected, Mike Johnson shut down Congress and didn't open it back up until the shutdown was over and all that, the government shutdown. Okay. And he had no choice at that point. The reason he kept Congress shut down is because if he would have opened up Congress, he would have had to sworn in Adelita Grijalva, who would have been the 218th signature on the discharge petition, which would force a vote on the House floor, then the Senate, then go to Donald Trump's desk. So yes, Massey could have authored it, but only 4 Republicans signed it. So without the 214 Democrats, it would have never even made it to a vote. And the Democrats started trying to force a vote in June, right after Donald Trump and Pam Bondi said there is no list. And what did Mike Johnson do immediately? He shut down Congress. I've read over 300,000 files so far. I spend 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, a little over 9 years now. I was just like you before I started actually researching. No, you weren't. You were never like me. I'm smart. You're retarded. And there is no 300,000 files. Scott, you're literally lying through your teeth. You can find me the source that says 300,000 Epstein files have been released. Go ahead. All those files, not one lie was told in them. You're an idiot if you think that. Not one lie was told in them. What are you talking about exactly? Elon did play the Dems and he helped rig the elections. He played the Dems? How did he do that? Democrats had 4 years to show us how well they could run the country, and all they did was try and burn it down. Well, Joe Biden brought inflation down, inflation that was caused by COVID. Donald Trump, by the way, inflation is up right now. It was 2% in April. It's 3% now. When Donald Trump left office, in April of 2020, there was a 14% unemployment rate. When he left office, it was 6.6%. And Joe Biden brought that down to 3.4%, the lowest unemployment in 54 years. The GDP was up practically his entire presidency. The stock market was breaking records like every fucking week in his last year or two. He created 16 million jobs, which is literally 4 times the amount of jobs the last 4 Republican presidents combined created. Donald Trump is in office 10 months. So far, he's created about 500,000. Biden was creating about 180,000 a month on average. So no, Roman, you're just dumb. You don't know anything. You know what I mean? You just listen to Fox News and they tell you how bad things are and you believe them. Not one victim, alleged or not, has ever said Trump did this to me. Katie Johnson was an Epstein victim. She was 13 years old and she sued Donald Trump for raping her. Okay? And her deposition is on YouTube. So that would be one that accused him of rape. Listen, you bald fucking idiot. No one, your shitty little 40 viewer channel hasn't made $500,000. No two. Oh, number? Is that supposed to be? Wow, you are illiterate as they come. You a fucking loser, cuz all you believe is the bad stuff. Get your little brain together in all capitals. You are a true psychopath, Adrian. Have you killed any bunny rabbits lately? Just out of curiosity. You have no idea my channel makes. You have no fucking idea. I literally got a $400 donation at 2 a.m. last night, and I made another 180 before noon on my first show of the day. So that's just in less than 12 hours. 18,000 in emails and 3 mentioned Trump and 0 center received by Trump, but we can list the Dems. Elon played you. What does Elon have to do with anything? I think you're confused. There was 30,000 emails, and Donald Trump was named more than anyone else, 1,686 times. So what does Elon have to do with the emails? What are you talking about? Wait, that's not the only reason. MTG and Massey were authoring and voting. Boebert too. I'll say it again. 4 Republican signatures, 214 Democrat signatures. Do you listen to me when I talk? Out of curiosity, do you? Democrats would turn the whole country into Detroit. Yeah, sure. Except Democrats literally always have to fix the economy the Republican before them left. You know, Joe Biden fixed what Trump left. Obama, Jesus Christ, 78 straight months of job growth. When he took office, it was like, I don't even know. The unemployment rate was like the highest since fucking, I don't even know how many decades. Okay. And Biden brought that unemployment rate down. The economy was booming when he left because Trump rode Scott, you know, he rode, I don't know what the expression I'm looking for is. His first few years, he just sailed off of Obama's economy. You know, and I'll tell you what, if you guys are right, then go get me the stats. Tell me what was better under Republicans than Democrats as far as job numbers, you know, unemployment, inflation, all that kind of stuff. Even when you lie, you can't admit it. You speak in hyperbole and absolutes and then get called out for your lies. Could you tell me which lie I told? What was a lie again? Tell me. Our whole government is an elite crime. Oh, God. Why was that guy researching for 9 years? It's definitely nothing new what Trump did, but you had interest 9 years ago. Interesting. Why was that guy researching for 9 years? It's definitely nothing new what Trump did, but you had. Okay. If I could read it, I would respond to it. If Trumpy was guilty, Biden would have released it. Just admit you're dumb as fuck. No. Because Biden couldn't release it. For the same reason Trump didn't release it before Biden. Because why didn't Trump release it before Biden? He had the files before Biden. That's not true. Roman, do you know that under Joe Biden, we produced record amounts of oil, more than ever in American history? Again, I'd look it up and show you, but you'll just say it's not true. So why don't you look it up? Ask whatever you want, ChatGPT, Google, and then you don't have to believe Google. Look at all the sources that report it, okay? Ask, did we produce a record amount of oil under President Joe Biden? Inflation was global, you fucktards. COVID, I know you can't believe this, but a pandemic that shut down most of the world, including most people's jobs, supply chains being all fucked up so that we couldn't even buy food or paper towels or toilet paper or bottled water. Things like that, all that stuff causes inflation. The reason inflation was high under Biden, it was right in the beginning. How did Joe Biden do anything to raise inflation that high? Tell me what he did. Nothing. If Trump was in office, inflation would have been at least the same, but with him probably higher. Every single nation had inflation, major inflation because of COVID. We recovered the fastest under Biden. Genocide, Joe. Joe is committing a genocide. Wouldn't it be the guy now that's like, you know, Netanyahu's cock holster? Elon played them being a Dem, pushing the fair elections to get his Starlink for it, then switched up for El Mango and rigged the system in the swing states. Yeah, I think you're confused. I got to be honest. People like you just want the files open so they could twist whatever's in them to meet your narrative. It doesn't matter whether they're guilty of something. No. Anybody who's in there who's guilty of something, I want them to be punished. Anyone. I don't care who it is. And Mike, tell me why you wanted the files out for so many years, but now you don't care. Because I know you did. Don't say you didn't. Tell me why. Harris was too stupid to put a sentence together. We go through this on every show. You want me to show you? Yeah, I'll show you just for shits and giggles. She was too stupid to put a sentence together, but she literally spoke her entire life for a living as a professional, a prosecutor, district attorney, attorney general, had to literally speak in front of juries and judges every single day. And then, a U.S. senator, you kind of got to speak there too. Donald Trump has been studied by linguists, and he speaks on a third grade level. But you think he speaks better than Kamala? Okay. Let's take a look. That's what I meant to put. All right.
Withdrawing after his last debate.
Clear that the Trump administration resulted in a trade deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. He invited trade wars. You want to talk about his deal with China? What he ended up doing is, under Donald Trump's presidency, he ended up selling American chips to China to help them improve and modernize their military, basically sold us out, when a policy about China should be in making sure the United States of America wins the competition for the 21st century, which means focusing on the details of what that requires, focusing on relationships with our allies, focusing on investing in American-based technology so that we win the race on AI, on quantum computing, focusing on what we need to do to support America's workforce so that we don't end up having on the short end of the stick in terms of workers' rights. But what Donald Trump did, let's talk about this, with COVID, is he actually thanked President Xi for what he did during COVID. Look at his tweet. Thank you, President Xi, exclamation point, when we know that Xi was responsible for lacking and not giving us transparency about the origins of COVID.
President Trump, I'll let you respond.
First of all, they bought their chips from Taiwan. We hardly make chips anymore because of philosophies like they have and policies like they have. I don't say her because she has no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window.
Meanwhile, during the entire debate, Kamala does nothing but talk about her policy proposals, and Trump doesn't talk about a single one. So there was Kamala not being able to put a sentence together, Tony, you stupid fuck. What goes through your head, Tony? I got to ask you. When you know a woman literally spoke for a living in front of judges and juries and was a very effective attorney general, what goes through your head when you say that person can't put a sentence together? Do you actually believe it, or are you just saying it because you hear other MAGA people saying it? If she couldn't put a sentence together, she probably would have never made it through Howard University. She definitely would have never become a district attorney or an attorney general or a U.S. senator or a vice president. And I'm sure, Tony, that you're way more successful than her. This guy says from a retarded motherfucker. Kentucky, huh? A lot of incest in your family, I'm assuming. You got a low sloping forehead and eyes that are too close together. Pete Booty screwed up supply chain. What? The supply chains were destroyed under Donald Trump, fuckface. That's why we couldn't get anything, remember? God almighty. And you don't think the money that was spent, by the way, you know how much Donald Trump ran up, right? You don't think money was spent under Biden? A lot of it, because you could even look it up. You could see how much of it was COVID-related spending. Just like Donald Trump. Donald Trump ran up about $7.8 trillion of debt, but about 3 point something was COVID-related spending. Same thing with Biden. Biden was at a 5-year-old level. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to show you something. Since you're so convinced that Donald Trump is cognitively with it, I know Biden was just a zombie. Biden, I mean, was a zombie. Here's Donald Trump being asked twice in a row how long the illegal immigrants in Alligator Alcatraz are going to be held in Florida.
Okay, please, in the back.
Dana Marie McNichol, Fox News Channel. Mr. President, is there an expected time frame that detainees will spend here, days, weeks, months? And does that have anything to do with the immigration judges you just spoke about being trained and staffed here?
When you say, what was the first part of your question?
Is there a specific time frame you expect the detainees to spend here, days, weeks, months?
In Florida?
Yes, here at Alligator Alcatraz.
I'm going to spend a lot. Look, this is my home state. I love it. I love your government. I love all the people around. These are all friends of mine. They know them very well. I mean, I'm not surprised that they do so well. They're great people. Ron has been a friend of mine for a long time. I feel very comfortable in the state. I'll spend a lot of time here. I want to, for 4 years, I've got to be in Washington, and I'm okay with it because I love the White House. I even fix up the little Oval Office. I make it, it's like a diamond. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It wasn't maintained properly, I will tell you that. But even when it wasn't, it was still the Oval Office, so it meant a lot. But I'll spend as much time as I can here. My vacation is generally here because it's convenient. I live in Palm Beach. It's my home. And I have a very nice little place, nice little cottage to stay at, right? But we have a lot of fun, and I'm a big contributor to Florida, pay a lot of tax. And a lot of people move from New York, and I don't know what New York is going to do. A lot of people moved to Florida from New York, and it was for a lot of reasons, but one of them was taxes. The taxes are so high in New York, they're leaving. I don't know what New York's going to do about that, because some of the biggest, wealthiest people and some of the people that pay the most taxes of any people anywhere in the world, for that matter, they're moving to Florida and other places. So we're going to have to help some of these states out, I think. But thank you very much. I'll be here as much as I can.
Yeah. So he's definitely not demented. He doesn't have dementia. No, you're right. You're right. It's all Biden. Mark Curry, LOL, Trump is covering the Epstein files, the same files that got buried under Biden. They didn't get buried under Biden because, Mark, if they got buried under Biden, tell me why they were not released under Donald Trump. Donald Trump in his first term had the files for 2 years before Biden. So why did Trump not release them? What the fuck does that say? Holy shit. Trump thinks we had airports during the American Revolution. He thinks windmills cause cancer and Hannibal Lecter is real, or at least worth talking about. He brags about passing a cognitive test. Yes, all very true. Were those marijuana cases, were they crimes? What were you supposed to do? If something's a crime, do you not prosecute it? No. She didn't even get into politics until like 13 or 14 years later, at the least. And that's if you want to consider becoming district attorney of politics. She dated a guy who was separated from his wife from 1983. She dated him in 1993 to 1994. She was friends with his wife. His wife knew all about it. They only stayed married for certain legal reasons. They weren't together. And they ended their relationship years before Kamala ever became anything, really. There's no real winner. Trump had 50-year record low unemployment. Trump had better gas prices between Obama and Biden. Biden had better GDP growth. There's no real winner. Mike, you check it out right now. I want you to do this for me, Mike. And I want you to come back in the chat and tell me what you find. Go look if the unemployment was lower under Biden, and if Biden had the lowest unemployment in 54 years, and then come back. Do it for me, Mike. Go ahead. Oh my God. He was not an informant. I proved that like 75 times on this show. He was not an informant. Because I listen to her talk, and for your information, I'm a very successful businessman. I'm a multimillionaire, if you should know. So don't say shit about anyone you don't know anything about. Tony, your name is Tony in my chat, and you have a T as an avatar. I would believe you about that as quickly as I believe Trump about the Epstein files. You could be anything you want to be on the internet. I don't believe you for a second, because let's be honest, Tony. A multimillionaire who's a very successful businessman would not be watching me at 6:45 on a Wednesday. You'd probably be eating a fancy dinner somewhere. Yeah, I know. He can't write coherently. I know. I get that. All of them. Any of them I call out, they all just happen to be millionaires. Trump claims the noise from windmills causes cancer. Yep. I know. If you were an informant, he'd want the files released to show everyone. Exactly. Guys, listen to me. Please, for me, everybody hit the like button. And everybody in this chat that agrees with me, please hit the like button. I don't expect the people that don't agree with me to, but hit the like button and subscribe. It's very important. Yep, it kept going lower into Biden's term, but a lot Biden's job creations were post-COVID rebounds from the 22 million jobs lost during COVID. Some were, not all of them. And Mike, it didn't keep going lower. Mike, you're lying now. I think highly of you. Don't lie. It didn't keep going lower into Biden's term, Mike. Unemployment was 14% in April of 2020. And when Biden took office, when Trump left office, it was 6.6%. Biden got it down to 3.4%, the lowest in 54 years. Tell me I'm lying, Mike. It didn't keep going down. You're making it sound like Trump brought it down and it just kept going down. No, that's what Obama did. Obama brought unemployment down and it kept going down under Trump. When Trump left office, unemployment was 6.6%, and Biden brought it down to 3.4%. So, yes, host is correct. Mike, come on, man. I don't know you to be a liar. You do too much research to be bullshitting right now. Come on. I'm not going to let it go until I see Mike say, "Oh, yeah, you're right about that. That's true." Guys, hit the like and subscribe, especially if you like the show because you agree with me or you're on the same side, you're anti-Trump. Hit the like and subscribe. I just looked at my subs. I barely gained any subs this whole day. Nope. Since I started saying that again, I haven't gained one. Come on, guys. Sub right now and hit the like. Stock market rally under open Biden. I don't know what you mean by under open Biden, but stock market was great. Can't get the vid if you fucking dead. Okay. And the stock market hit multiple records under Biden. It bothered Trump so much that he tried to take credit for it before being elected. That's right, behavior bender. That's true. You're correct. Where's Mike Ramey? Mike, you're holding me up here. I got to go shower and shit. I'm waiting for your answer. Come on, let's go. October jobs report was worst one since 2003. So how could things be better? Yes. Thank you, Josie Bell. Obama best month was 4.6%. Trump's best month was 3.5%. Biden's best month was 3.4%. Okay. Now, do you agree, Mike? So you answered my question. I was right. I know you don't want to say you were right, but I was right, right? Now, tell me this. Is it better for Trump to have brought down unemployment from 4.6 to 3.5 or for Biden to bring it down from 6.6 to 3.4? Which would have been more difficult? Mike, I'm starting to lose faith in you, bro. Trump worst was 14% into COVID. Biden's worst was 6.3%. And that was only 6.3% when he took office from Trump. So, Mike, you got to be honest. God damn it. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.